is a better lighting posture, right? If I sit here, I get very good lighting. Checho. I love the girl. She don't. Hi, Brigitte Kakai. How are you? Today I like the lighting in this place. Yeah? Danny Okeni Albino Ola Kali kasoke mbuze ku bantu bange Joseph Valley Kudembe ni Okeni Albino Olak Louis tell us a story Danny. Joseph Valley Kudembe, Aidan, Andrew Subuga, Sereko Starch Kagwa Dennis. Munango nakure guru byampanvu yeko. Yesterday I had an inspection though. I had an inspection and of course it's one of the reasons why I failed to show up. And you guys, did you see the rain yesterday? I find logging in from Lamour. Imagine I have moved to a restaurant for better network. Thank you, Kakai, for going that extra mile. Kayongo Vianney, how are you? Besigensi Kenneth, how are you? Tulindeka balaba wereko tugende maso. I am trying to make sure that the phone does not overheat because the sun is giving me very good lighting, but the phone doesn't like the lighting from the sun because the lighting from the sun makes the phone hot, and the phone, I'm sure you and I don't want the phone to overheat because the overheating kind of messes things up for us. Okay. This doesn't work as well. No, I think the other way was better. Guys, good evening. Muni Mutia, how are you today? I want to apologize for yesterday. Yes. You see? That's better. No. So I want to apologize for yesterday. I could not make it. I really wanted to make it. and nebigana munange ensi olumu etukwata netuzza gyeyagala, and that's how I was not able to come here. So Danny Oken Olaka Gambie kamanyumiza kankasuma okuva eno. I was in IHK road driving, minding my own business, because I always defend borders. This guy came and tried to overtake on a narrow road. There was a Chigege coming full speed. He squeezed himself in between cars, scratches my car small, was about to fall with the passenger, and then he ran. I was just worried about the mama behind. She was terrified. Yeah, keep defending them. The border guys, you cannot defend them. They have no chills. Besigensi Kenneth Nkubuzi zako Kayongo Vianney Nkubuzi zako Jones Info Paul. So I think for now I'm going to have to first turn on the AC. Yeah, it's okay. Ole bulungi. Dr. Kenneth Matia Ntege Manex. I like that the show is called For the Love of Cars and content is shot from a car. Okay, Aidan. Mr. Arthur, the bass in your compress is compressed very well. Alinga ali mu crossover. Avayo bulungi oyinza okugamba ayita mu crossover ne equalizer. Alteza yakikubye nnyo. Yandikuwadde na 1 million for inspection. Ate mulowooza. You guys, let me first turn on the AC. Yeah? Let me first close this door and turn on the AC. And so that this phone doesn't overheat. Let me first turn on the AC. Sorry, that's supposed to be our shield from the shield for the yeah. So let's first cool this phone. Samsung. Someone told me that I should buy another phone, that when this phone overheats then I use that phone. Let me just also put this laptop here a blocking omsana. So guys, twagula Alteza, Dr. Matia gwagamente wa Alteza yalimpadde yakasente. Olowooza no yali agana okugigula. The Alteza person wanted the Harrier. Alteza nali nkakamukako okugigula. Nnyo nali nkakamukake. Era ababutagigula, the person that bought the Mark II would have bought the Alteza, because the Alteza was perfecto. Joseph Agaba, I was surprised yesterday. One Indian came to my location with his boy, like 3 years, his son. We requested to see his father's new office. Abana babayigiriza business singa bato. Yes. Abana bayiga. Today I've been looking at Aban's assignment, yeah? And Aban is doing as an assignment, erimu background, erimu, you see the things we do at university, where you write a proposal and you write a report. So he did a project. They started planting plants, they call them plants. They got buckets. I've normally been buying buckets, munimu detergent when I use in Morocco. So they got those empty buckets, they put soil, they were documenting every process. Of course, they do it with their mother. They were documenting the process from the beginning. They get the bucket, they get the soil. So they get the bucket, they put the soil, they put the hole where they put the seed, they put the seed, and then it grows because their plants have grown and they're documenting. So they have been taking more pictures today, and they actually have a report. And in this report, they are telling their teacher or Gotitas project supervisor, they are telling them about their project, what they learned, munimu background, justification. University. My kid is doing it in P2. Just be to eat it. Yeah. So Munange Joseph, in search of the dollar kanafe tuina, we have to adjust and make sure that our kids adjust with the world. Yeah. Juma Ali, how are you? Kawagama Enoch, how are you? The Alteza was such a big win. Derek Lule said Kagaba, Kenya Abi. Mwe Abi no yampareza video ya guni. Mwajidabe ya auto connect. Did you guys watch the hybrid mechanic, the female on auto connect? I think I'm reconsidering the hybrid seriously. And today I was washing my car and then it's just air cleaner. The air cleaner in this car is not even 2 weeks. But if you look at the air cleaner, you will tell me leave the hybrid alone. Which tegera. Naye ata Isuzu LF tuyinza gifuna ku sente mmeka. Abeera ne miliyoni asatu amazima. Asatu. Adrian Mugirwa, good evening. Kawunye mu yaddawo abatamivu nga basusse okuvuga ate AM time. Munnange Kawunye mu bakireta buleesi. I think it just comes as an operation. Arthur, what are the first things you recommend to have checked after buying a used car besides full service? Nothing. Okay. So this is what I believe. When you go to buy a car and you inspect it properly and you know it's a good car, after buying the car, the only thing you should need to do are the things that were said while you were inspecting. I don't know if I make sense. Don't work on things that you did not think about while you were inspecting. And this is something that we normally talk about when we buy a car with someone. You say, you're going to do this and this and this and this and this and this. And normally when people go beyond what we have talked about, or they either start spoiling the car or their money. So Isaac, I don't know what you figured out while you were inspecting the car, but I would suggest that you stick to the things that you had agreed with the mechanic to work on as you were inspecting the car before purchase you get. Chris Fitness chechiriwo. Leere bya gym biganye mbadde ngena mu gym ne bangamba ate ragna ate bikoze bitya kati. Ngenza okumaliza ebya ragna nga ate obudde mulowooza tebugenze ne ngaka nine nkole inspect nkole wano broadcast oluva ku broadcast ebyuma kasita nineewa kangenda kukolera waka. Pade Patrick Rio Porto Farm to Sime Eddie Chiza Plumbing TV Nsereko Starch. Arthur, I wanted to ask you, I saw the Alteza, walai, it was a good deal. However, the handbrake of the Alteza, walai, being on the left side immediate seat. I wish the person that bought that car would come and share the experience. The people that bought the car was a very good follower of mine here, a man and his wife. So he was buying the car for his wife. They were seated in the car, but Bali Mabega. So we go to test the Alteza. Let me just go through the process. I'm excited about the Alteza. I would have bought it the same price. Like of all cars, the cars I've inspected in Anzisola Jigura Sentezo. Nengo na ino Jigura because that's the money he has over, that's the car that is there. But this Alteza that we bought, I would have paid the same amount for that car. Now, let me tell you the story. Now, the people that wanted to buy a car that day, do I even remember this? I should be telling these stories the next day. But they wanted a car that doesn't go beyond 10 million. Yes, I know. We went beyond the budget, but it was totally worth it. So, they wanted a car that doesn't go below 10 million, beyond 10 million. And so, they were looking at, because ladies, so you know how ladies want big cars, yeah? So when the lady called me, before I did not even know the man was involved, but she called me and told me what she wanted. I want a car to take my kids to school. I have 10 million. And then normally 10 million is very little money when you want a very good car. So I asked her, okay, what's your normal distance every day if you buy this car? Then she told me she would be driving about 5 to 10 kilometers daily. I said, yeah, then that's good because then you don't have to worry about fuel consumption. So our options included the Regias, they included the Vitz, they included Ipsam. You know, Emoro is a million Vista Adeo, Corolla, like the way I normally mention cars that will cost you 10 million and below. And so we agreed. But I remember, I normally tell you guys, I don't know where the cars are. So when the lady comes, she comes with a gentleman, and when they sent consultation fee, I saw the name Ngandi Manye. I said, abantu bafana manya kansilike, until the lady mentioned, you know, my husband watches your content a lot, so you know him, and he's the one who wants to buy me a car. And I say, okay. So on the day we meet, it was the day I had the meeting at, you remember the day I had the meeting with the planning authority, Uganda planning authority. And yeah, after the meeting, I rushed, I met them, and then we went. Where did we go first? Because the choice of car wasn't very clear, I believe we could have gone to Bakuli. I don't remember if we went to Bakuli. But because the choice of cars was not very clear, and what cars did we look at that day? My God, I'm growing old. The one thing that I remember vividly, we went to Nakawa and we saw there was a warehouse where there's these Indians or Pakistanis that sell Ugandan used cars. Guys, the other guys did display. Like when I went there, I was talking to the salesperson. I told them, "Way, was a display. You know how he puts very old cars in a warehouse that is really long, and when you look at the warehouse and the cars, you actually think the cars are new because we are used to seeing those new cars in the warehouse. And speaking of 10 million, I realized that they had already seen cars. They were 13, 14, 15, which was not a good thing. Normally, when you go to look for cars, it's important that you keep your head like in the game. And then you remember what your maximum budget is. So we looked at all these cars, and there was a Vitz, which was a UAX, I believe. It has a 2SZ engine, which I discourage you guys from buying. You remember last week someone told me, talked about their Ractisia, and I told them the reason I hadn't shared about it was simply because it has a 2SZ engine, which I don't encourage people from. Newebamu Vitz, I don't encourage it. Newebam Paso, I don't encourage you to buy it. Katate, imagine if it's in Ractis, which is a heavier body. So we saw it, then we saw the Alex, then we saw a bunch of cars there, but Zari out of the budget. Zari within the budget, Zari within the budget, Zari Nkadenyo. And normally, I think I'm starting to learn where good cars are and where bad cars are. And I think we looked around Nakawa. And then, because initially when this lady talked about it, I thought the Regius would have been because remember we had just bought a Regius at 9.6 and it was really good. So I thought a Regius would be a very good choice at 10 million and below, especially for a person that does not mind fuel consumption. But then the lady looked at the Regius and she said, in the Moroccan nyo. So after Nakawa, we went in Bugorobi. Jitwasanze Morocco. I think Nebanaba nobody wengeri yakabanda kawe. Iringa parking, Karinga Kabande in the garage and all that. So we looked at before we went to Nakawa, before we left Nakawa, they called us for a Mark II Grand. Now the Mark II Grand they called us for is the one we bought later. So they called us for a Mark II Grand. And that Mark II Grand was nice. Ngeita. You see, I imposted two cars, the Alteza and the Mark II Grand. So they called us for a Mark II Grand. City oil in Nakawa. We looked at a Mark II Grand and it was nice. And the people bari bagamba million kumi. And the guy kept saying the Sidamula ezoze nkoma. I offered that person 9 million. Nazigana. Because initially, when another Mark II Grand thing was checked out, okujako the Mark II Grand chintu echabade chirwade ndabiramu yabade teyambuka bulungi neiba agikoze the person that bought it. The reason why we bought the Mark II Grand at 8,950,000, we cut 50,000 okole ndabiramu na amaziga wiper ngabade tegakola bintu bire bade bitago kukola ku Morocco eyo. So we tell these people to get about $1 million mwena ne bagana. So someone tells us, what do you Alteza somewhere? So we go to Bugorobi to see the Alteza. We go to see, they showed us two Altezas. So we saw an Alteza, which was over UAW, but it was modified. The bumpers were modified. That's why I normally tell you guys, don't modify cars. So the Alteza was modified. And because it's a lady, she's driving her first car, I said no. Modifying you to bumpers mangu. So then there was an Alteza, that Alteza that we bought. It was parked somewhere ngabali mujoza ya de washing bay. Nengamba ateri. Never kama neyo bajitunda bajagala million 12. What 12? I said yes. Let's look at the Alteza. My God, you guys, I've never seen a very well taken care of old car like that Alteza. It was never tuguli ila manga munda mubaraga. Nenzigula butu ngambaragavu. Nengula engine nga it's a Beams 2000 engine. Mipira jonanga kwejiri. Ochitegeera. Spare tire. Literally, area Moroka, I don't know who was owning this car, but they were not driving it often. The engine was better than the Mark II Grand engine. SC, so I said I need to drive the Alteza. And guys, I've never liked the Alteza. I never liked the Alteza until I saw this Alteza, the one we bought. So I sit in the Alteza and I ask these guys, tuvugemu? Tuvugemu. Auntie Zenge Yang Angel. So what do you think about seeing Alteza? Ngatusimbula. Ngatufuluma. Tubatufuluma tuche kube moroka nesi. Kanenji uliro manyika tufavuze moroka enkadde. Anabavuge moroka nti tulina sente za mafuta. We know. Moroka ebe natera okusika ulira. Noka now it's pulling. Nenchuka nenzira ku mafuta nitekamu omutwalo nekolera mwe bagayi. Alteza kali kabadde kawooma nenkavuga nensoka ninyambuka eyo kitintale eyo waggulu eyo ne tukomawo nenkavuga kataka ne banviira ngani kuluno nabadde nga avuga reska mwe abana ba Alteza ne bwe bazoonona mukkirize emmoroka eri Alteza bwebeera namu teyabaddemu yadde akakubagana teyabaddemu yadde akakoona gwe Alteza yabadde yooma si esikira emabega I think I'm going to learn how to drift. And then I'll buy myself Alteza chibedawo nga kyakujoga bujozi. And I think the Alteza is much more comfortable than the Impreza. Which tegera, when you think about like this handbrake that is here, it's supposed to make it like easier for you to do your business. Which tegera. Now I'm imagining how it would feel like driving a manual Alteza. Era bwoba jolinga you have an Alteza that is manual nga njigula mabanja nkusasula ko mpola naye nga nze mbeera nayo Alteza eyo nga ya manual oba Mark II ya manual oba Mark II Grand nga ya manual njigula mabanja nkuwenga ko mpola I'll come buy it. So anyway, we tested the Alteza and I really like the Alteza. So I told the lady immediately, gule moroka eno. Now, why did I tell the lady to buy the Alteza? One, the Alteza is sexy. You guys, if you don't agree with Nisman Choriko, the Alteza looks sexy. So, the lady says, yes. What about that Harrier? There was a Harrier. Now, the Harrier was 3,000 cc. We looked at the Harrier. It was okay. It had a few things to work on. And the lady ngayagala Harrier. Nemugamba Harrier rwaki. So, the lady and the husband, they sat somewhere. Then I went to see the owner of the Harrier. Kuba yabadde ajagala. Ngayagala ba million 10. Ningenda mulabe mbageiningemu. Nangamba naye Arthur. Omukyalo oyo Harrier ajagaza ki eno 13 ngenywa. This is the first time I've seen a person that is selling a car. When they tell you, I don't want to sell this car to that person because it will consume fuel. Majority of the time when we go to buy cars, the seller is constantly trying, but this person for once was saying, Arthur, you get it? And so, and there was another Harrier. So that very person that had the Harrier nkumisatu na atwala tulabe Harrier yendala yabadde naye avuga Harrier avuga Harrier 2.4. So he took us to see another Harrier 2.2, but it was being sprayed. Yabadde ku spray job mu garage, so that was like a no option. And of course he was telling us jagala million oba 13. Nenga it looked to be much better than this one, the nkumisatu. And because it was being sprayed and we wanted the car that very day, so that was not an option. So we went back and never to were Mark II Grand. So that we compare these two cars, the Alteza and the Mark. Guys, my heart was there with the Alteza. So we drove the Harrier. We did drive the Harrier. And for me, I've told you time and again here, for me, cars are the same. I will sit in the Ractis here, sit in a Vitz, sit in a Harrier, sit in a TX, sit in a V8, and for me they'll always be like the same. Ordinary, but the Alteza has not been ordinary. That Alteza is still in my mind. So when they were actually we negotiated, guy nagamba akoma million 10 nemitwala 5. Now this Alteza had a downside. It had 3 police receipts. One was 300, one was 150, one was 120. Now, the one of 120 is the one that belongs to that car. The other two receipts were given to a Toyota Chigege Hiace. But I think the officer mistook the numbers. Not take a number for somewhere. So we went to an officer, they printed out, and the receipts were not meant for this car. So we deducted this the one receipt of 120, and then the other receipts. We agreed that the person that's buying the car atela na yali security, security, so I'm sure he will know what to do. Ainagenda natete. These things happen. And by the way, wasanganga police receipt ku motoka yo. Nayenga waliwo esoma type of car. Tesoma motoka yo. You can go to Natete because that's where the headquarters for the traffic police. Go to Natete and complain. They can erase it. If it was not meant for your car, for example, how I'm driving a Toyota Ractis UB something, and then someone enters the very number, let's say UBN 5252, they enter my number in the thing, and then they write the type of car, Isuzu Elf. So that means that police receipt was meant for the Isuzu Elf. So I can go to police and I complain that I have a receipt on my car that was not meant to be mine, and they can erase it. So that's what the person is going to do. Now, here is where the trouble comes. Normally, I have to pick my kids from school. So at the time when we agree, the couple go to the bank and I say, you know what, guys, let me go pick my kids from the school. And normally when beda ndi mu inspection, batabani bangi basemba biva kusomero mbasanga bali awo bazanya. Abasomesa ba complaining and babivaako. So I went and picked my kids. Now, as I go to pick my kids, the couple, they called me. Remember when we were negotiating, we did not negotiate kubanja. So they called me and I said, you know what, we will talk to him. I think the mechanic here in Morocco. Yes, the mechanic here in Morocco. Nambaga mkubile mechanic. Akubilo msajja oyo tulabe. And I think mechanic anacho kubilo msajja. So I go pick my kids and I find them the place where I took those pictures. So I find them there and they say, Arthur, oyogedi no musajja ngamba wona ze. Kajje twogerenga muita mga mzee. Ku milioni 10 ze twakkirizganyize 10 n'ekitundu. Kata it was 13,800. Tuinake milioni 8 otuwole motoka. Ngagamba okujja ko ngate kati njibaguza 12 million. Obakale kamba wemweno. The moment someone starts that business, then you know you have picked the right car, and he knows that is the car that will make him money, so he's trying to give you other cars that have refused to move. So I told these people, you know what, Chimwali koze, you just pay for the car. Sente zimwagala okusigaza mute zijja kubula. And so we renegotiated and we ended up paying 10,190,000 shillings. Twasasula milioni 10 n'emitwalo 19 okugula Alteza eyo. Kati wogatako gire 12 egy'ekipapula gye milioni 10 n'emitwalo 3 mugumu. Okitegeera zitwagule Morocco eyo. So of course now the person that bought has to go to police to clear the ebipapula bijeke bitali bya Morocco eyo. But other than that, that car had nothing, totally nothing to work on. And then the Mark II Grand, which happened yesterday, guys, please don't book me on the day of inspection. Don't pay the message. Are you free tomorrow? I will not be free. Okitegeera, right? So yesterday, this person, the one that bought the Mark II Grand yesterday, wanted to buy Ipsum or Ipsum Picnic. Now, he wanted Ipsum Super. I asked him, normally I ask you guys, why are you buying this particular car? And then his budget was 10. And I was asking, you good to use the cinema. And I asked him, why do you want to buy Ipsum? And he was, I think, initially, yali hayagala Mark II Grand. And when he called me, I told him Mark II Grand yenunje yinza kuba million nga 17, because at that time twali twakagula Mark II Grands, if you remember. So I told him Mark II Grand yenunje ijja kuba million 13, 12. I think that's why he gave up on the Mark II Grand. And so he went to Ipsum Picnic, Ipsum. And then bwe yagenda okugula eze Morocco, then abantu nga bamugamba Ipsum Picnic, it's 15 million. Ipsum, 10 million. Poor buy. So he had called brokers. Then I told him, you know what, call those brokers again and tell them. Before we went to see a mechanic. Someone had a Mark II Musota. They brought it. We drove it. I did not like it. So I said interior wasn't so good. Literally had a lot of work to do. I said no, tugende. So I told him, you know what, tuina Mark II Grand je tugende okulaba. Twagiraba n'oli omukyala yali ayagala jigula. Because the lady, when we were buying the day we bought the Alteza, that Mark II Grand, the owner wanted to sell it to us at 10. I refused. I offered that person 9 million. He refused to give it to us at 9 million. So he said he wanted to sell at 10. You get? And it's one of the reasons. Of course, the Mark 2 grand in Ojitwaguze, ilimuka accident ye mabega. So for me, that's why I wanted to buy it 9. And the seller was saying 10. And so we went and saw the Mark 2 grand because I told him there's a Mark 2 grand we saw the other day when we were buying the Alteza. If it's still there, let's go look at it and we see. If you don't like it, we move on. So we went and saw it. And finally, the person had accepted $9 million. And I've been telling you this, guys, when you're selling your car, the first person that gives you an offer, so we went and saw the Mark 2 grand. We drove it and it checked out. So then we called the other broker. Now, when we went to see the Mark 2 grands that side, I think the cheapest was 11. You get? Cheapest was 11. Yeah, the cheapest was 11. And he had like literally 3 of them. And Arazabade, wait, yeah, that 11, 12, which is way beyond our budget. And then you know how brokers will be. They'll start with oboguleno. Bobato ipsam ojivuddeko kati lwaki totugulamu Karina. And I realized that the person that bought the Mark 2 grand was majorly looking for comfort. The comfort that is in the Ipsam Picnic, because it's almost the comfort you can get in a Mark 2 grand, almost the comfort you can get in a Harrier or Segera. So I told him, let's stick to the Mark 2 grand. And yeah, that's how we went. And by the time we go back to buy the Mark 2 grand, so we went back and concluded, Fenetugenda Forex Bureau kujayo sente, bandu bajja ne batusanga ku office yange. Ababadde batunde moruka. Normally me I make people drive their cars. Ne batusanga either ku bank oba olumu we drive that very car. Okitegeera emmoroka ezimanyi okuzaala emize ebiseera ebisinga. Emmoroka bwebanga tebikole etera okuzaala emize nga tonnagisasula. So and the rain came. Bana enkuba y'eggulu mwagirabye. Enkuba y'eggulu yabadde impetitive. Mama bani yalinye taxi yesterday. Nemutuusa mu kibuga n'agamba emmoroka ne ziyimirira nti zina gye ziraga nga amakubo ga floodinze. Yesterday's rain was serious. So we finished, and then I did the recording of that program, the program that you have seen, the video that I've just uploaded. Thank you very much for watching. I see it has had 72 views so far and 3 comments. If you have not seen it, the weekly roundup. Yeah, next time better still. We get better every time, so we'll be better next time. So we recorded that video, and I was made to tie to fasten the button at the very top. Yeah. So those are the 2 inspections. And then as I had just finished to record, then a doctor sent me a message. I did a TikTok video about it. A doctor sent me a text telling me on TikTok. Of course, I don't have his number. He inboxed me on TikTok. I even took a screenshot just for my security, but I make up stories to get views. So he inboxed me and told me that he was going to do an emergency surgery on a lady, and he was stopped by traffic officers for a full hour, and yagenza okutuuka mu ddwaliro ng'omukazi afudde. And he was telling me that for him it was a painful experience, and he thinks traffic officers should listen. Yeah, so I shared that. I shared the story on TikTok because I've realized that some traffic officers that have no empathy at all. I don't know if this is the training they go through or it's the situation they live with. To the extent now they no longer they have no empathy. And then in the comments on TikTok, a doctor has shared that he was stopped for 45 minutes. He was going to do an emergency delivery of a lady nga ayina abaana basatu mu lubuto. Nti abasirikale bamuyinza for 45 minutes. By the time he got to the hospital, the woman and her 3 unborn babies were all dead. And like in Africa, we have been brought up to keep quiet about bad things like that because they are being done by people that are bigger than us. And I find that that's one of the reasons why Africa is where it is. because big people keep doing bad things and you keep keeping quiet. And yeah, and that's how it's a cycle. The kids that are younger than you have to keep quiet because you're a big person. You get. Then I also saw this honorable member of parliament, Yakuba Zake Bikonde. But Zake should apologize to me. I'm older than him. So what? You get it? So when people are older than us or bigger than us, they expect to do bad things. And yeah. So that's the story. That's the story of the two cars we bought. The Mark II Grand twabera million mwenda ne tusalako emitwalo 5 tukole endabirwamu ne yabadde teyambuka bulungi, then terezi n'akantu k'amazzi wali, ebirala byonna byabadde very okay. And both the people that bought those cars yesterday are not driving more than 10 kilometers a day. So because I saw someone saying bannange emmotoka eyo naye 2,200 bano abantu avuga 10 kilometers a day agenda gavuga liita emu n'ekitundu oba 2 gwe mutwalo every day, gye mitwalo 3 omwezi. So I don't think that person is even kati nze wadde nvuga 1.5 liters, I use more fuel than that person every day. I actually use 5 times the fuel that person is going to be using. Which say sometimes I even use 10 times the fuel they're going to use because I move a lot. Which take so that's what it was, guys. That's what it was. And just like that, I overslept today. I didn't even go to church. I overslept and but I needed to oversleep. Actually, after here, I'm going to go work out quickly, shower, sleep. Sometimes I need to sleep. Like during the week, I wake up very early, sleep very late. So on the weekends, I don't even want to go to town on Saturdays. Yesterday, I missed a friend's wedding, and it's because I had a lot of work to do. But also, it's a wedding. It's a happy moment. So he has so many people around him. I find that it would be better for you to be there for someone when they're going through a rough time. When they are happy, let them be happy with the people that can be there with them. Yeah? So, but the wedding went very well. Kwanjura kwali kwa Friday. I didn't even know that. Now I take Kwanjura. I think Kwanjura should be for close family. Your music seems to rock, but why? Unlike the Nkudi, what do we promote fake music? And the true music, guys. Bananga, you guys need to understand that the entertainment industry is bigger than what we think. The entertainment industry, the entertainment industry doesn't favor the good things. It favors the things that work out. So you promote your music properly, or if it comes at the right time, it bangs. If it doesn't bang. Life is unfair. That's how it is. They don't deal with 2 accounts, like both on the bedroom, TV, and on my... I learned that the hybrids are good in cleaner environments, and mine could... Yeah. So guys, Abe, I'm sharing the video hybrid. I watched the entire thing, and I think I'm reconsidering the hybrid. And if I reconsider and end up not buying the hybrid, then it's also good for me. I save money. Hybrid is way out of my budget, so I end up saving money. So hybrid almost out of my mind now. In the air cleaners mwezi. I think even every month is overrated. Sometimes I change my air cleaners. Because of the environment. I'm very cautious about the health of my engine. So that's how I work a lot on it. Air cleaner, cabin air filter, mbichusa nyo. Like ne service going kula wa mitwala 28. Wachitegira service going kula wa mitwala 28. Naye are lasting a 10,000 kilometers. Chitegeza ku muntu avugira mu kibuga. Yeah? Ngovugira mu kibuga. If you did the kind of service I do for my car, you'll drive your car for a full year. Ngatokoze service. Wachitegira. But me, I do my service about every like 4 months because it's 10K and I do long distances. Good evening, Kampala job listings. Arthur, I have 10 million split between buying Alteza or Legacy before. Which one has better? Alteza, those cars are going to be the same. The Alteza consumes more fuel than the Mark II Grand. I've shared that here before. Why? Because the Alteza has only 4 gears. Yet the Mark II Grand has 5 gears. Yes, Chechiro Arthur. our guardian angel. I've been watching the video for the last 4 days in birthday studio. Amina, Kastozi talking about hybrid, was talking to someone with a 2023 hybrid Corolla, and she told me the battery life, according to Toyota, is 8 years. Exactly, Chris Fitness. Yet we are buying cars that are more than 10 years. Kati. And then the chick in the video from AutoConnect said something that piqued my mind. Chankutomba changambye, omukazi yagambye, for them, when a person that owns a hybrid, when their hybrid vehicle dies, bakuba gudi kudde, because they know taina jaraga. Aina kujja kati bamubijako sente nyingi. Then I was also thinking to myself, there is one thing about the hybrid that I don't like, that if my hybrid battery dies, I have to go park the car there, and it probably will be there for like a week or two, because batteries tebazipapira, it's electronics. Yet with my car, ne Corolla yange bagikyusa yingini, nagizaawo lero ne bagula yingini ne bagisaamu. Ekyatusuzawo ennaku ebbiri was because the first engine we got was a bad engine. So we had to do it until the next day. But the next day I was moving properly. You get it? But if the hybrid dies, you actually have to park it. So, Ojafuna Abe. Bob Quick, hi, Kenneth Agamba, talk about it. I once asked Mr. Arthur for the link to his music. But link kweli kuna ya Google Drive. I'm going to repost the Google Drive link. You guys can get it. Rama Charity Organization, you Alteza yabade diru nunji nyo. I think it was well maintained. Regardless, just train from home. Nzena akavayo, never miss a Sunday workout. That's the rule. I'm going to work out. Ngina kola, ateni mama bani kati muleta akola squats. Mkwesa squats. Ne asara ni kurubuto. Mkoze sana ye. George saying kubuge Yusuf Minaj, YouTube community guidelines, painting yourself brown is against our guidelines. Unugai katsoke tumblocking mugasi ya bulolo. Katumuteke mu time out ya 24 hours ajja kuyiga. Salongo matovu gambo otya. Jonathan Benja, what was the number plate of the Alteza? Alteza no chija kwe, it's a UAR. It's a UAR. Alteza sikirize mabega. I drove that car in Balwa. No traffic, no humps, na ye yali enzise. Alteza uli ne chigere. Alteza gwe navuze ka Alteza wali. I still feel the adrenaline. Owakuru okuna. After coming soon for my first car, budget 10 million. Tugenda kulaba, tugenda kupambana nolini. Joshua, Engineer Joshua 256, David Zembata, good evening for the car lovers. Enjoy the podcast from Dubai. Dorothy Nafuka, how are you today? Derek Lule, Agomenitwe Cleaver, Kadijire, Derek Lule. I have a friend who is selling his Ipsam UAN. Oh, ajaji marketing Tuesday. Waja ngoje marketing deko go market Tuesday. Aben Kako, how are you? First time here, and this is quite good. Alua. My dream car comes in 2026. 14 million budget finished. I don't want just to park it long. I don't want just to park it longer, but I wanted it even tomorrow. But time matters. Exactly. And the dream car is a VITS 1 liter. I'm going for the weekly roundup after here. Amina, Jonathan. Axon, I will give you, does not know how to drive. Sokati. Obori nyambo. Joshua, if the person that buys a car does not know how to drive, I get them a driver. I get them a driver to drive them na mwayaka sente. No, depending on the distance, wano kumpimpi asabe mitwale 5, then bwe mweyongera ye wala mutesa. Inan Stewart compares Sienta and Wish. Very bad comparison, Stewart. I find that Sienta fuel consumption very little and a little bit multi-purpose. Kakora na kakamoruka. Wish is very multi-purpose. Fuel consumption high. In terms of maintenance, obviously Sienta is easier to maintain. Friendly practicality, I find that the Sienta is much better. Wish, I know you're comparing the Wish old model. I don't like the Wish anymore. I think I like the bigger Wish. Which tegera. Katrina Benjamin, Chechidio. The story of a stopped doctor, a pity for sure. Choka abagendo kulie mbizi bajoga. Ne lead cars and sirens. It's unfair. True. And Besigansi Kenneth, you see, the thing of the doctor that was stopped ngagenda who for to operate to do emergency surgery on a lady, it's when a doctor identifies themselves, yes, overspeeding is wrong, definitely wrong, and he did not say I've not been overspeeding. He accepted the ticket. But you know, sometimes abantu bagala okulaga amaanyi. It's sad. It's sad. Nze kati aba traffic ndababalabe. Sometimes I think it's because we normally have very low self-esteem. It must be an esteem issue. Tewali ngeri ndala ya kuchinyonyola. Legacy and Alteza same fuel efficiency but differ spare prices. Does it mean when the batteries die of the hybrid, the car can't function? No, it will function normally, but it will consume a lot of fuel. Ebenywanga markets. Ojukuroba ekintu ekikuza abantu hybrid is to save. But the saving, first of all, comes with fuel, but should also come with the number of years or the number of months that you drive that car at Nafarianda. I also find that maintenance of the hybrid here in Uganda would be more expensive than maintaining a normal vehicle. You have to take the car to a specialized mechanic, and yeah, I don't think it might be for me right now. Brian Wanyama Chechiro Nelson Chobe okoma okuluna 215 impreza jatugire tujigule bro. Once time to buy a car 23, but the money I spent one mechanic. Okay, sikutegedde. She's a plumbing. I've not understood you. Steve, how are you? Yusuf Minaj Arthur Mark 2 grand bulijo manyia gia nya kumbe ya 5 Mark 2 grand mara Alteza ye gia nya, but after wanteekamu amaanyi kati emmoroka yatereera. Oh, but I'm still in need of IST. Honda hybrids cannot start with the hybrid battery powertrain and dead. You have to replace it as a must. Man, nze, I really want to buy the hybrid, but okay, first bottleneck for me is that I don't have the budget to pay for the hybrid car at once. And second, the other bottleneck is that I've not failed to buy fuel for my cars. So I don't think fuel is really the issue that is making me buy a hybrid. The issue is that I save money. But then if I buy a hybrid expensively and then accidentally it fails within the first year, mbasikoze. Byate binkoledde makulu. Chovola Arthur, let's pray next year I finalize Sienta. Sigita as my very own first car. Ne our version of BNI, Miss Viola. Version ya mwene jakola. Bwe mune jiranga nange mbegattako. Nange mbyagala. So anyway guys, that's Sunday. Tusabire abantu bafa abali malwaliro olumuyinza okuba mulowooza nti omusawo yeematidde aganya okujja bakolako. Engo omusirikale amuyimirizza. Actually, it's amazing that you read the comments on my video on TikTok. Someone commented, their father is a doctor, but he was locked up for 4 days for overspeeding. Nga yali adduka kukola ku mulwadde mu ddwaliro. Ne bamusibe ennaku nnya. It's amazing, but not in a good way, that a police officer can decide nti yes ogambe ogenda kujjanjaba mulwadde naye kankulaga nti ze nnyina amaanyi parking awo n'agenda inatandika okukola ebibye. You get, and normally with normal law abiding citizens, when an officer tells you stay there, you will stay. Toina gy'olaga. Osegera olina kuba wa mutwe munene ng'olina ne beweesiga okusobola okuvaawo ogende. Otherwise, me, I've been in a situation where a police officer cocked a gun for me. Kati, I have that phobia. Which tegera. Is the VITS 1.5 common? No, it's not. Even the 1.3 with the 2NZ engine is not common. Nze nagula ka 2NZ engine kange nakagula lwakutano ku lwomukago oli nakagula nenzile mu bondi nkanoonye ne kabulayo. Enseno nakanoonya ne kabulayo. Nga balina bu 2SZ which are not good. Okitegeera, which are not good at all. So anyway guys, munzikirize mbasibule. Njagala genda kola exercise nebake nsobola kola broadcast y'enchanga I am fresh. Nsobola kola broadcast y'enchanga I am fresh. Kati gwe kyoba omanya Gichobo manya kiri nti some of us eno gitubeere wala tuba tulina okukeera ennyo ate ne tukomawo kiro. We should also look into conserving the environment for future generations. That's the main reason for advocating the hybrid. Yes, Chris Fitness, the hybrid is a very good thing, but until we have cheaper ways of maintaining the hybrid, I find that fe tukyabonaabona nnyo okitegeera. Kale kambasibule bantu bange. Steve Barros waganya okuddamu message zange. Nyina okuyiga coding gweddaawo. I have to learn how to code zino template zino mbenga ndekamu olulimi lwange wayi nenyiga H-Theta, Python, goliao, Bridget Kakai, Joseph Valley Kudembe, Danny Okeni, Albino Olak, mugende mulabe weekly roundup. Joseph Valley Kudembe, Idan, Andrew Nsubuga, Sereko Starch, Kagwa Dennis, Besigensi, Kenneth Kayongo Viani, John Zinfo, Paul Banalia, Mgalasi Joshua Mixed Farm, Dr. Kasule Matia, Antege Manex, Juma Ali, Derek Lule, Seth Kagaba, Bukenya Abi, Andrew Nsubuga, Edwin Mugirwa, Von C, Chris Fitness, Rubura Tusime, Eddie, Patrick Leopoto from Chiza Plumbing TV, Besigensi Kenneth, Kampala Job Listings, Pade Nkubuzi Zako, Bob Quick, Rama Charity Organization, Yusuf Mina, George Senkubuge Kaketo, Muhammad Salongo Matovu, Jonathan Benja, Norin Dagire, Engineer Joshua 256, David Sembata, Dorothy Nafuka, Andrew Okuni, Derek Lule, Aguminitwe Clever, Karegiri Amos Luke, Ben Kako, Al Huri, Jonathan Benja, Nkubuzi Zako Habat, Enan Stewart, Katwena M. Benjamin, Henry Modern Drinks, Nelson Chobe, Steve Barros, Mark Suna, Chris Thomas, Amina starting and me guys. Njakubala bencha kumacha. May the good Lord bless you. Banage TikTok katuina pia bali ku TikTok ate muna ko following agenda yo following ene bo vayo. Nama bata ina account you creating ogendo following go veyo. Right now we are moving quite fast. The traction is okay. We are at 14,000 followers. All the way from 130 something, but it's a good project, good projection. I mean, good growth, guys. I wish you a very lovely Sunday evening. Tonya Novuga. Gwe Arthur Oinakuba Mulamu. Amina Mudope Joshua. Anga you're lost. Abari Mukamoli, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I wish you a very good Sunday evening. Chris Fitness TikTok yangeri baji baninze kati nyina pia ira na for the love of cars. Username is for the love of cars Uganda 1 kati mpia eri baji baninze na ye no problem, we start over, we move wetu betubeera kati guys munzikirize mbasiule. I'll see you tomorrow morning. May the good Lord bless you. Ciao.